To guide our discussion, let me first share our objectives for today. So, our session will focus on three main objectives. First, to explain the interdependent nature of theory and practice. Second, to illustrate how theoretical concepts are applied in real world situations. And third, to highlight the importance of reflection in bridging the gap between theory and practice. So now that we know we're heading, so let's start now defining our key terms and setting, of course, the foundation here. So theory refers to sets of ideas, principles, or frameworks that explain how and why things happen. So it is often abstract and systematic. So if we're talking about practice here, on the other hand, this is actually the application of those ideas in real life situations to solve problems or meet the needs. And both are foundational, not only in education, but also in medicine, business, engineering, and of course, other fields. So with these definitions, of course, in mind, let's see how theory and practice work together. So, theory and practice are actually interdependent. First, theory informs practice. It provides guiding principles and predicts possible outcomes. Second, here, practice shapes and refines theory. Real world experiences can confirm, challenge, or improve theories. And the third, of course, they form a continuous cycle. Theory provides the plan, practice tests it, and reflection helps improve or adapt it. So let's make this clearer, of course, by looking at some real world examples from the different fields. So let's move now to the educational example here. So in education, one key theory is what we call as constructivism, introduced by Piaget and Vygotsky. So it states that learners actively construct their understanding through experience. So in practice this time, this can be applied through problem-based learning, group collaboration, and hands-on experiments rather than relying solely on memorization. So from education, let's move now to an example for the medicine example here. So in medicine, we have the germ theory by Pasteur Koch, which explains that microorganisms cause diseases. So this theory is applied in sterilization procedures, vaccination programs, and public health campaigns on hygiene, all of which have saved countless lives in the world. So next, we look now at the application for the business sector. So in business, Maslow's hierarchy of needs is often used to motivate employees. The theory suggests people are motivated by fulfilling basic needs first, then of course, moving toward self-actualization. So in practice, companies ensure fair salaries, safe workplaces, and career development opportunities to keep, of course, the employees engaged and productive in their work. So let's explore more an example from this time from the engineering. For the engineering example here, in engineering, Newton's second law of motion, we have here force equals mass times acceleration. This is actually applied when designing vehicles, calculating acceleration forces, and of course, creating safe braking system. So, how do we ensure that theory and practice work hand in hand effectively? So, of course, The answer here lies in the reflection, or the reflection has a role here. So reflection is the bridge between theory and practice. It allows us to evaluate effectiveness. Of course, did the theory work as expected? You're going to ask yourself that way. So it helps identify gaps and limitations. What adjustments are needed? So it also improves practice at the same time, feeding back into better methods, of course. And of course, it encourages professional growth by fostering continuous learning and adaptability. So at this point, let's have now the summary. So to summarize all of this, theory and practice are mutually dependent. Real world practice tests and evolves theory, while theory gives structure and guidance to practice. So reflection ensures this connection stays relevant and, of course, effective. So at this point, let me share my own personal insight on this relationship. So personally, understanding this relationship has shown me that theory without practice is disconnected from reality. Okay? Theory without practice is disconnected from reality. And practice without theory lacks direction. So in other words, parang ito yung ating mga lesson plan. Okay. So in my academic and professional journey, I strive to balance both. Okay? Using theory as my guide and of course adapting through reflective practices. Okay? So of course, at this point, there are different references that for today's presentation here and this one. So of course, before I end, remember that of course theory here. This is the map and practice is the journey. One is useless without the other. So thank you very much to all of you. Okay po. Yes, ma'am.